Hey guys, it's AJ. You're watching me and Mr. Vuitton. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing by hitting the subscribe button below, giving this video a thumbs up, and clicking on the bell to receive notifications when I upload videos. If you're a returning subscriber, thanks so much for tuning back in for this Chanel Maxi review. I've gotten a couple of requests to do this video, so I thought I would go ahead and film it and put it up right after my last video, which was my bags I sold in 2019 video. So if you haven't checked that out, I will link it in the description box below. Please feel free if you are so inclined. But anyway, today we are going to be talking all about my Chanel classic flap in the maxi size. This bag I purchased from the absolutely gorgeous and wonderful Sabina. She has a website, Sabina's Closet. Her Instagram is Sabina Lynn. I did not purchase this through her business. I purchased it from her personal collection, just a person-to-person transaction. But definitely check out her Instagram. Her style is really, really unique and just simple and chic. And then also check out her website if you're interested, because she is a very, very trusted authenticator within the luxury community. And her website, she adds things fairly frequently, new handbags. So she has all different kinds of brands available usually. But anyway, with all that being said, I purchased this bag last late May. It was like around Memorial Day of 2019, and I received it in early June. So I've had it about a little over 6 months, and while it's definitely not my most used handbag, it's a handbag that I truly do love, and that it still gives me butterflies every time I look at it. And for me, it's really the perfect of the Chanel classic flap sizes for me, for my frame, and for what I like to carry. So the bag obviously came from her in this beautiful classic white dust bag. Everyone's seen these with Coco Chanel there on the front. This little bit of dirt was because I'm a doofus and I cleaned the hardware on the bag because I had a little bit of tarnishing, and I used the dust bag instead of the polishing cloth. I don't really know what I was thinking, so that's what that dirt's from. But anywho, the bag, when I store it, I always store it standing up. That's how Leather Surgeons recommends that you store classic flaps, so that they maintain their shape and they don't start to droop. So as you can see, I have it all wrapped up in the dust bag. The chain is threaded through this size, so when it is in storage, I actually would sit it up on this end so that there's not any part of the chain that's pressing against the flap of the bag to create stress and imprints. But I always wrap the top of the chain here with the felt that came with it so that it's not laying directly. You know, caviar is a lot more forgiving, but I always wrap it like so that the chain isn't pressing on the handbag while it's in storage. And then if you've ever watched any of my other videos on Chanel classic flaps, I always store it with the flap open. You can see the flap turn lock is not shut. I do that so that the inside zipper doesn't make more of an indentation on the bag on the inside of the first flap. So always store your classic flaps open. I just find that it maintains the integrity of that first flap a little bit better. So that is sort of a nutshell on the storage of this bag. This is a 19 series caviar maxi. I had always heard that the 19 series, 18 and especially 19 series bags from Chanel were sort of second to none in terms of their caviar. My jumbo that I had was a 22 series. It was beautiful. It had a beautiful sheen to it, but it was incredible when I got this bag and I felt the two right next to each other, how much of a difference there was in the caviar. It was marked, the difference between the sheen and just how it feels in your hand. This bag, literally, when you run your fingers over it, it feels like butter. Like it's almost feels like lambskin. That's how smooth it is. So I know Sabina. I have followed her for a very long time. I've asked her and picked her brain on so many different handbags. And I know that she is extremely picky about her caviar leather. She'll only buy it if it's a certain series, 19 being one of them. and she just is super, super picky and particular about her caviar leather. So when she offered to sell this bag to me, I was like, she was out of town at the time, and I'm like, you know, just wait till you get back to town, but you know, please don't list it, don't sell it. I want it, like put my name on it, because I know her and I know her judgment and her taste in especially Chanel bags and any other handbag, and she's very, very particular, and I knew that it would just be absolutely a gorgeous bag. And that it is. I got it and was just like, holy cow, this caviar is unbelievable. It is so soft. So the dimensions on this bag, before I forget, I did want to talk about that. It's 12.9 inches in length. I believe the jumbo is just under 12 or right at 12 inches in length. The height of the jumbo, the height of the Maxi, which is the main differentiating point between the jumbo and the Maxi, is the height, is 9 inches tall. I want to say the jumbo is probably 7, maybe 7.5. And then the depth of the Maxi is 3.9 inches. So the depth, I think, is very, very similar as well. I have a picture, I think, on my Instagram that I took when I owned both of the bags, because a couple of my followers on Instagram wanted to see a comparison, like a side-by-side. So if I do have those pictures, I will pop them in right now so that you can see the side-by-side comparison of the jumbo and the Maxi. So now that you've seen sort of the comparison, obviously, like I said, the main difference is the height of the Maxi, which is where you're able to add to the capacity of the bag. I owned the jumbo and the Maxi. After I bought my Maxi, I kept my jumbo for several months after, because the jumbo had a lot of sentimental value to me. And whenever I didn't want to sell it hastily and then regret it, because it was my jumbo. It was the one I had purchased brand new from the store. So it did have some sentimentality attached to it. But frankly, whenever I would think to use one of my Chanel or a Chanel classic flap, I always would gravitate towards the Maxi. And the reason for that was because I would primarily be using it for work. And the Maxi just holds just enough much more. And to me, the size doesn't look as dressy because it is bigger. So the jumbo was great for that transitional type bag. And it holds quite a bit, but the Maxi to me was just better for work because it didn't look quite as dressy. And this bag, because it has silver hardware, is definitely a little more casual. My jumbo had gold hardware. And I always had been a gold hardware fan for the Chanel classic flaps. To me, the Maxi is just so fresh with the silver hardware. It goes really well with the sheen and the caviar to me, and it really just kind of freshens up the bag, and to me it just is perfect in the silver hardware. So that was another reason why I really loved having the Maxi in the silver, and why I think I kind of gravitated towards it more, because it just fit my lifestyle a lot better. So this bag, you know, the classic flaps, the Maxi, I think is definitely sort of the dark horse of the classic flap family. Weight-wise, the jumbo and the Maxi were not that different. The Maxi is not that much heavier than the jumbo. The weight of the jumbo never bothered me. The weight of this bag never has bothered me. Because it's a shoulder bag. So to me, when a bag's on your shoulder, you just don't notice it as much as when it's like in the crook of your arm. But this bag, to me, just is a perfect size. And also for my frame, I'm 5'10" and definitely a little bit more on the like plus size. And the way that this bag hits, when I put it on the single strap, it hits like right above my waist, whereas the jumbo's super long. If you have it on the long strap, like for me, I could do it crossbody and it would almost be too long. This bag is great because the strap isn't quite as long, and so it when you have it singled, it just hits like at a perfect height, right about at my hip, basically, sort of like where a boy bag would hit, which is kind of nice. So it allows you to carry it in almost like a messenger bag type style without it being so long. That was the thing with the jumbo, is it was like at your knees if you put it on the single strap, which You know, crossbody was fine with the jumbo. I think I tried it a couple times, or like if I was desperate and I had a bunch of things in my hand. But you literally have to have like a thick coat or something on, because otherwise it digs into your shoulder. And it just is not, to me, not really practical to use as a crossbody bag. It's just too heavy, and the chain is not conducive to that. So the other thing about this bag that I loved is it has a really, really nice, I don't know if you can hear that, a really nice sturdy turn lock, which was another really nice feature of this bag. Even though I purchased it pre-loved, the person Sabina had bought it from, I don't think had ever used it, and I think Sabina used it like a couple times, and that was it. So it was practically new. It came with the box and like the dust bag, as I said, and the authenticity card. So it was as new, basically. This bag, talking about price quickly, if you're watching this video, you know how much Chanel bags are. You know that they're extremely expensive. So whatever. This currently retails, I think, I just looked on the site, I thought they were up to like 72, but it looks like they're 69 right now, so 6,900. If you were to walk into a boutique and purchase a brand new Maxi, I paid, I think, 4,500 for this bag, and as I said, it was practically new, so it was a really, really good price, and I was thrilled with the price. And at the time, I had just sold my Coco handle, and I had purchased a reissue. I decided the reissue didn't work for me, and then I sold the reissue and bought this bag. So to me, it was definitely a good price. And I really just found, after I had the reissue and I had sort of that enlightening moment with the reissue style, that the classic flap and caviar really is just my jam. Like it's durable. I wore this bag the other day. It was snowing like crazy, and I'm just bopping my way into work and into the stores and not a care in the world. And that's so, and I know that the reissue is very, very durable, but to me, this bag being in the caviar, you can just literally take like the arm of your sweatshirt or a dry towel and just kind of wipe it, and it looks as good as new. That is just so liberating to me, to have a bag I don't have to worry about. And so that was the main reason why I decided to sell the reissue and go with this, because I know how much of a workhorse these bags truly are, even though they are crazy expensive. So, you know, I'm not going to belabor the details. There's a million videos out there on Chanel Classic Flaps. I've made one myself. I did a 3-year review on my jumbo last year, so check that out if you're interested. But obviously this is a double flap. You have the gorgeous zipper right there for the secret pocket. You have your normal slip back here, which I do not use. It scares me to death to use it. I also do not use this pocket. I've been scolded 100 times by my friend Sam to use this bag, or I'm sorry, to use this pocket on the bag. For my cell phone, I put my cell phone in there the other day and was going to walk out of the house with it and took it right back out, because it scares me to death that it's going to stretch this pocket out. It's just a little weird thing. I never use this pocket, never. So is this bag heavy as a double flap? I don't find it heavy. I didn't find the jumbo heavy. It's just a personal thing. If you have shoulder problems, I'm used to carrying heavier. Like I had a Birkin 40 that was very, very heavy, but it was an arm carry, crook of the elbow carry only. So when you're talking about a shoulder bag that might be a little bit heavy, it's apples and oranges. It's not really the same thing to me. So this bag I do not find heavy. It has the front pocket right here, which is where I usually put my cell phone. And then of course the gorgeous CCs right there. This bag I do use an organizer in. So I had purchased this organizer from Samorga for my jumbo back when I had it. And I found it to be a little bit to the point where it was kind of bulging the jumbo, and it made it hard to close the front flap. I had to really pull to get that first flap shut and over the turn lock, and the turn lock closed, and I felt like it was just putting a little bit too much strain on the bag, so I decided not to use it my jumbo, and then I purchased the Maxi, and it was perfect. So my recommendation, if you're interested in a Samorga jumbo size organizer, think about maybe sizing down, or I don't know. I just know that this is a Maxi and it fits the jumbo organizer perfectly. So I like that because it does kind of help hold the shape, and also because it keeps the inside of the bag from getting all scratched up and dinged up like with your fingernails or rings or whatever. So you can see I just have the chain laying down there that I've wrapped around the side, laying on the top, and then this pillow that I have in here, instead of using air paper, I use this pillow inside of the bag. This was a gift from my gorgeous friend Karen, but I've seen these like on Etsy and online. They're just little storage pillows, and the material is the same really, really pretty white kind of microfiber material like the dust bag, so it's not going to damage the inside of your handbag. But this one she bought me for my jumbo, and it fits perfectly down inside of the Samorga in this Maxi bag. So these are really kind of nice little things. I'm trying to see if there's a logo on there that I can link but anyway, I just search like pillows on Amazon or wherever, and you can find these. But so I store the bag with this pillow down inside of the Samorga, with the chain just laying on top of the pillow so that it doesn't dent anything up inside there. So that's how the inside looks. But this bag literally just holds everything I need and more. It's definitely holds more than the jumbo, and the benefit with the Maxi obviously is that you have that extra height. So instead of the jumbo, which stops about here, you have all this extra height that you can stand things up or lay things on top, sunglasses, whatever you need, and you're just going to get more in the bag. So would I recommend this bag? Absolutely. Do I think it's too big for a more petite person? I honestly don't. Sabina is, I think, like 5'4" or 5'5", and she's an extremely petite person, and she rocks this bag. I feel like it kind of gives some really cool vibes with like a big chunky sweater or like a pleated skirt, or just with like some distressed jeans and booties and a sweater, or a plain white tee. Like there's a lot of things that you can do with this bag to make it not seem like you're swimming in it, no matter your size, honestly. And it's really just very, very chic in my opinion. So I definitely think that it's the dark horse. It's not thought about as much as the jumbo or the medium to large. And it's kind of the best of both worlds, because you have this unbelievably chic handbag, classic flat by Chanel, but you're able to carry as much as you need inside of it, or use it for work or whatever, and you're not sacrificing on what you're carrying. So those are my thoughts on the Maxi. If you have any questions that I didn't address in this video, please leave them below and I will definitely try and answer those. But yeah, I did want to share that because I didn't find as many videos on the Maxi when I was looking at buying this bag. So I hope everyone has enjoyed this video. I thank you for tuning in and checking it out, and I hope everyone has a great day. I will see you in my next video. Take care.